one of the city's most notorious gangs.
Critical Thinkers Podcast.
So crack all my life, ever since I was 11 years old. While the other young boy was trying to, in the park, playing football or baseball, I was on the streets getting money.
They label us a gang for coming together for something positive, for a movement to help the people. I mean, I know where I stand. I know I'm not a part of no gang.
We don't have no colors. A lot of my friends, they like to represent their Haitian flag that represent their country.
I like to extend high honors to the ancestors. Those ancestors being the ancestors of the Nile Valley that were responsible for some of the greatest civilizations that the world have ever witnessed. Those civilizations were predicated on the principles of Ma'at, which we define as truth, order, and righteousness.
Well, over here, critical thinkers, the truth don't need no support. God made Haitians, little Haiti made Zoe. We'd like to welcome y'all to another episode of Critical Thinkers. Y'all know our slogan over here, the truth don't need no support. And y'all know the OG Kenny K say every day, all day, God made Haitians, but little Haiti made Zoes. And we standing on that. It's good, my brother Jump. You gotta say to the people before we start.
How y'all doing social media? Y'all already know what time it is. It's your main man, Junkie Jump. Right back at you, little Haiti soldier. You know, I'm always give a shout out to little Haiti, like I said, because y'all know, like I know, and it's gonna be an everyday slogan. Little Haiti raised me, and mama made me. So, with that being said, little Haiti is always in my head and in my heart. If it wasn't for no little Haiti, it wouldn't have been no us. So we like to welcome y'all out to another opportunity to vibe with the original homies, straight out of 5, 6, and First, where we put in that work. And like we said, it's engraved in the ground. Shit don't stop till the casket drop. What's going on today in social media? Kester, I know it's always something going on that is of interest. It's some interesting stuff going on out here. You know what I wanted to elaborate on? We're going to elaborate on a little later, man, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the Cash Money family with Turk too. But we're going to lay around for that because we got some special news from one of the home team members. Y'all know home team come first because we one of the home team podcasts. So we going to put that Florida news out there before we put any other news because we are responsible. You feel me? So, Kester, man, you was talking to me about the brother,
Wavy Navy Pooh.
Wavy Navy Pooh.
Rest in peace.
Man, elaborate on that, because I saw the little clippings on social media about they supposed to pick some of the guys
suspects up. So about 3 years ago, Wavy Navy Pooh took his family to the zoo.
Yeah.
I guess they was sitting on him. When he pulled out the zoo,
yes,
they rolled up on him. Them young niggas let off 80 rounds.
80 rounds? But they had...
Listen, they had a switch on that thing.
They had
that switch to do it, right?
Ooh.
So they let off the 80 rounds. Miraculously, he was in there with his son and his baby mama. Nobody got hit but him.
Damn.
Right?
Sharp shooters, huh?
They knew what they wanted. That's one thing I could say. They aim was on point.
Damn,
80 rounds.
They got their
it ain't strike no one but they target. So you know they did what they did and they got away.
Right.
3 years later, just the other day, breaking news, they just caught the 3 suspects who killed Wavy Navy Pooh.
So how they get that lead? How that happened? How they finally track them boys?
They got the lead from one of the young niggas sending text messages when it first happened.
Well, they must be there no statutory limitation on murder. Don't
run out. The other, they got bits of information where they rent the car from. They recovered the rental car, so they was able to track that. So from that, they got the phone records. Being their phones, and due to their investigations, because it took 3 years, they finally picked up 3 suspects. It looked like a Cuban, a Haitian, and a Yank. Okay? That's what it looked like, right?
That's like a little heavy combination right there, man.
Right, because one of the young niggas got North Miami on his neck, so you know he from North Miami somewhere. Right? So the Chico looked like he from Little Havana somewhere. And the other nigga looked like he straight out of Overtown or motherfucking Liberty City.
Wow.
Right? But it was a 3-way, the 3 amigos, They arrested for him. They all sitting right now in Metro West with no bond. And you know, Wavy Navy Pooh at that time was going through a little situations with a few artists out of Miami.
Right.
Especially, you know, he was just going at it with Ferrari Fred. Him and Ferrari
Fred out of the city?
Out of the Poking Beans.
Out of the Poking Beans.
You know, Wavy Navy Pooh is from Brown Sub. Oh, you know, Brown Sub and Poking Beans always had a little bit of friction.
Yeah, that's the city side, but that's an upper and lower, like Liberty City.
So I guess that little feud jumped off, and Wavy Navy Pooh, you know, telling Ferrari Fred to meet up. Ferrari Fred go to the store, telling him to meet up. You know, a few incidences happened behind that situation, but I guess it got deeper, and Wavy Navy got caught slipping out there somewhere because he was spending time with his son on his birthday.
Yeah, but you already know how that go with that beef, man, especially in the hood. When you coming out of Miami, Miami might look sweet, but don't shit be sweet. Man, you know, nigga gonna hunt they man to the
beef
end.
Never turn the chicken.
Yeah.
When niggas get comfortable and think the beef done turn the chicken and niggas scared, that's when a nigga will come cancel your motherfucking birthday. And Wavy Navy was out there caught slipping. He caught 80 rounds.
With the family.
With the family. He died on his son's birthday. So now them young niggas right now in TGK fighting for their life. No bond.
Them niggas they had 3 years to get their shit together and get ready to have commissary money for life. Cause if they do got leads to them guys, and this is once more again for the YNs to the OG. I mean, to the YNs from the OGs. Like we always tell y'all, you know, it's fun and dandy, it's entertainment, you know, it's a adrenaline rush when you go out there and put yourself in a situation, right? It's easy to get down, but it's hard to get out. You feel what I'm saying? So niggas getting out for their crown out here, and nigga playing with that fire. But I understand, Kenny K, that when you playing with that fire or when you're going through war, guess what? You can't make no money. So with that being said, you done put yourself in hot water. Cause I'm quite sure with the league, they probably heard their name out there, crackers looking for them. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Not to even like take sides, but hopefully y'all boys got some paper. And the way I saw those mug shots, Kenny K, it don't look like wealth is in the face of them young guys there. So man, once again, man, before y'all get out here, YNs, listen, before y'all get out here and want to go through Plex with it, they gonna have a little gunplay with it, think about the long-term effect. Think about how your life stopped. You can't get no money. You're running and hiding. You're beefing. So you got to turn your head right to left everywhere every corner you turn. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense.
Murder don't go away. You can't erase murder.
Yeah, and then what that was really about? Okay, so what was the whole beef about?
The beef was really about, you know, the Poking Beans and
it's just beef or hood
and
beef.
About the Poking Beans and Brown Sub. You know, whatever Wavy Navy was going through, dissing them boys, you know, Ferrari Fred and them, and the music. You know, at that time, you know, they was going back and forth because Wavy Navy just got signed with Atlanta with QPC, whatever the nigga name is, who had the City Girls.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
You know, who had all them artists. He got signed with them. So, you know, he was looking to go in the right direction. But for some reason, he started beefing with Ferrari Fred. And, you know, that wasn't a good look because, you know, when you got two young buds who own that, and we know Ferrari Fred own that. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go.
He gonna.
You understand me? So, he got his goons behind him. Them young niggas and Brown Sub got their goons behind them. It been all type of little gunplay back and forth. You know, it looked like it quieted down until breaking news. You understand me? That Wavy Navy Pooh got hit up.
Man, you know, and it's so sad, man, because, you know, shout out, you know what I'm saying, to the circle of brotherhoods. Shout out to my main man, Sweet and Sonny. Them brothers, them boys, they're like 20-something years apiece. Them boys was part of them, the guys that went on strike for peace in the hood, man. And, you know, as OGs, nigga, owe that to the YNs. out here because it's too much senseless murders out here now. You know what I'm saying? Compared to when we grew up, you know, not justifying, not glorifying. But back in the gap, when you used to hear niggas getting wet up, it was about territory, it was about some type of principle, it was about bread. You know, it seemed to me today, a lot of the YNs, it's like a clout thing. It's like a pride thing. It's like insecurity where nigga think that, you know, he got to wet a nigga ass up to get the respect.
You know what it is, young, that these young niggas don't understand. When they first jump out on this internet, and the music is murder music right now, right? It's pain music. They hearing about slide and smack that shit all day, right? But the one side of the coin they never hear is that life in prison.
Yes.
See, that's the difference between when we got in the game, our old heads taught us first. Nigga, you going to prison.
Yeah.
You are going to prison. You understand me? Whatever you do is consequences to anything that you do.
That's right.
So when you go out there, you doing what you doing, there's a good chance that you're going to do life, 10, 20 years, and we was willing to make that sacrifice. We knew ahead of time.
Right.
So when we did, and we got in that interrogation room and that prison time came, we stood on it because we was prepared for it.
And that
the
was
young generation,
yeah,
that's addicted to their phones, this internet.
Right.
They only hear the one side of it.
Right.
So they think that you could do a murder and go inside the interrogation room, they just let you out and it's over.
Right.
They think the next day the murder over. They don't realize that that shit carry life in prison, and it's never over. You understand me? There's no statute of limitation. So now when them crackers finally getting them their hands on these young niggas, they finally realize like this shit ain't a rap song. This shit is real. My life is over. And that's when they start realizing like, was I really built for this shit?
Right.
You understand? Because the internet got these young niggas thinking that this murder shit is a game.
Right.
You understand me? But the reality is it come with life in prison. Death is not a game. So these young niggas, they do what they do, and at the end of the day, we can't judge no young niggas for doing what they do because we did what we did.
Right, but see, it's a difference, Kenny K, not to cut you off, and that's what I be talking about in the upbringing, you know what I'm saying, in the era. See, because back in the days, because we had that little guys, because we had, you know what I'm saying, OGs letting us know what's what and who's who, you feel me, it made young niggas like us think. Now, a lot of times, let the record reflect, a lot of times, a nigga found themselves in a situation where it was gunplay. For the most part, Zoe Pound was on defense mode. It was never offensive because one thing about it, we understood the consequences and repercussions behind being in the game already, just in the game, in the streets. So our objective was to try to make it out the streets. So we was money getting young niggas. We was money getting young niggas that had heart. So at the same token, we wasn't going for the bullshit. We gonna stay in our lane. We on our territory. We in our little vicinity. Now, if you cross the line, then you gonna get a motherfucking check that your ass can't cash. You know what I'm saying? That's how that was. As opposed to the young niggas these days with that computer box in their hand we call the telephone. You know what I'm saying? It's by design, bruh, that these young niggas are being influenced by some false narratives. Because at the end of the day, like you say, Kenny K, they got the murder, and I give it to a lot of these young niggas. They trigger happy now, and a lot of these young niggas will go. But just because you gonna go don't mean you go for any idiotic bullshit. Make that shit count. You know what I'm saying? Who really is the real enemy when you look at it?
But John,
you feel me?
A lot of these YNs, even though they go out there and they kill something, they really not killers.
They not built
they
for
really
it,
not
K-Stuff.
killers. They go out there, kill a nigga, go right home to their mama house,
right
in the room, eat their mama food, and go to sleep and think life is a game until them crackers come knocking on their mama's door at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Facts.
Just because you kill somebody, that don't make you a killer.
That's right.
We done seen a lot of niggas who we thought was killers got inside that motherfucking penitentiary and fold.
Killer rats.
So now the young generation, because we did jump the 80s and the 90s, we jumped off the porch.
Right.
90% of the time when you jumped off the porch, you was built for this shit.
Right.
We dealing with a new generation. It's saturated
Right.
with the new era of the internet gangster.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
nerds
Facts.
jumping off the porch.
Facts.
Nerds got AR-15s and choppers and Glocks
Nerds,
and all this.
They
Carrying-
do the weirdest
they riding around with their guns. See, back in the days, nigga had no gun license,
Right.
but a nigga had their gun.
Right.
90% of this young generation, they got
That's
their gun
facts.
license, right? They riding around with guns, so they really don't understand the full sorts of this situation.
Right. So it's safe to say, I mean, since they got their gun license, unlike us back in the streets, you know, could you imagine, you know, you being able to get a gun license? You can't have no record if you could register a gun.
Thank you.
Niggas like us, we couldn't. We had to have stolen guns because
We got records in our teens.
We've been and had charges.
Felony since we was in
You
our
feel
teens.
me? So it's crazy that you say that these young niggas could just, they buying guns and they walking around with guns and they don't even have nothing to do with it.
Junk.
You feel
My
me?
brother, in the Fulio murder,
Yeah.
the suspect, one of the suspects, went in his mama's house, went inside her gun safe, took the guns out the gun safe,
His mama shit.
took his mama car, went and did the murders, handed out his mama guns to them niggas to kill a nigga, collected the murder weapons back, went back home and put the murder weapons back in his mama's safe and gave his mama the keys to the car, act like nothing was going on.
That's crazy. Like
Think about that, John.
like the shell casings, like it ain't no serial numbers, like it ain't no trace. Like we living in the internet where everybody, you got walking cameras, you got camera, everything, like they ain't see the cop. They not gonna trace it back to their mom. So what kind of sense these young niggas have nowadays? Where are their brains at? What kind of gangster are you for real, man? Stop it, man. Stop it. Bruh, niggas that are really bred like that, they're born in, they ain't sworn in, bro. They don't just come by way, man. They don't come by day. That shit is embedded. It's rooted from when you was a jit. And that's why our pattern is unlike a lot of these YNs today, where you see the goofy shit that they do and it don't make no sense, man. I need to tighten up out here, man.
You're gonna get your mama car and your mama guns
That's
and come on the
crazy,
table with us.
man.
That's unheard of as a young nigga. But that's to show you the thinking of the new YN.
Thinking pattern of the
internet
YNs
of
these
the
days,
internet gangster YN is fucking madness. That's why the internet is full of entertainment. Young niggas throwing their life away.
Right.
And like I say, we not here to judge. Do what you got to do because we did what we had to do.
Right.
But stop telling on yourself. Stop telling on yourself. It's no money in the world could make me confess to something I never did before.
Right.
Because ain't nobody, I ain't never going to confess to something that carry life in prison.
Right.
That's just unheard of.
That's
You
insane.
understand me?
That is
And
insane.
I feel today, Junk, because I know when I was in prison, going by that mailbox, you know, you see everybody sentenced when they coming home. You know, every now and then you see a life.
Right.
You know, a little life right there. Imagine today when you pass by that mailbox.
Oh my, all
everybody got life sentences.
And they
everybody got life sentences at 20-something years old.
And none of them go to jail with no bankroll. So could you imagine a bunch of niggas with no bankroll, broke as hell, family withering away, and you can't do nothing about it? Man, what kind of system you gonna have, man? It's wild, man. But you know what we gonna do, man? We gonna stay tuned and we gonna watch, you know what I'm saying, the debacle on, you know, the guys, the suspects that got caught up on your boy case. You know what I'm saying? And
Wavy Navy Pooh.
Wavy Navy Pooh, man. We gonna watch it and we gonna keep y'all in tune. We gonna keep y'all abreast. We gonna keep y'all on point. Whatever comes out before y'all hit. If we hit, you know, we gonna give it to y'all live and direct. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do right here on Critical Thinkers Podcast. On another note, Kester, I got something for you, man. Cause you don't read no comments. You know, like he told y'all, when he get off this shit, he got life, he got a wife, they turn. Look at this beautiful little, you know, souvenir he got here. They was in the Great Kingdom, you know, 17, 18 hours away, you know. That's what the OGs are doing nowadays, you know. That's what an old gangster gonna do anyway. You know what I'm saying? I remember the Lock said, you know, gangsters get chubby and move to Miami, you know what I'm saying? But we already in Miami, so we venture out. So now you gotta enjoy your life, you know, nigga OG now. So nigga trying to enjoy, you know what I'm saying, the rest of the little bit of life we got now. But in the comments, man, you know, I be in there and I be lurking. I be like this. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, this is the only way I can interact with y'all, man, and I understand that people be want to know. So I just had this one comment that kind of inched me, man, because we've been telling the fans that we definitely gonna get them to understand who we are in depth. You know what I'm saying? So they can really get to know what's been happening, what's going on, what was the rise and fall of Zoe Pound. But this one particular comment was asked about this buffoon that be on the internet with some black nail polish. He go by the name of Billiani, and he says that he is the new shot caller of Zoe Pound. He the leader. You know what I'm saying? Now, for the fans, we want to let y'all know. For the audience, we want y'all to know. For the subscribers, we want y'all to know that that guy is not really a problem. That guy really suffers from mental illness, and we understand that mental illness is real. But the funny thing about the whole demonstration is that this guy is actually one of the Zoe Pound artist's cousin. Now, who's this particular artist? Y'all know him by Mr. REDDEYE2Zs, Redd Eyezz. Yes, that is the family member of Redd Eyezz. That is his cousin. Once upon a time, this dude was a sane guy. You know, I guess it was about the time when, you know, it was kind of like a down spiral going on at that particular time. You know, me and the big homie was off the scene. Macazo, a lot of the homies that y'all probably know as the Zoe Pound homies, you know, they was out of the way. And this particular guy used to be hanging around his cousin. He was supposed to be an upcoming artist. But what I think happened to him was he got a bad case of Molly. I don't know if it was Molly or Flocka, Kenny K. He got a bad dose of it.
It was Molly Flocka Voodoo.
Molly Flocka Voodoo.
Got on him.
You only could get it from Little Haiti too, y'all.
Believe it.
You feel me? So here it is, this particular guy. And you know what, man, Kenny K, it never ceased to amaze me, man. You know, a lot of guys came around, and at that particular time, you know, we were what you would call ghetto celebrities, right? That's what they used to call us. We was niggas that had celeb status based on who we hung around or who came around or who we brought through the hood. Because a lot of these people, you know, you gotta understand, once again, it was that transitioning point where the boys invested in music, right? Trying to do music, trying to go another way, trying to break commercial and, you know, sell that dope there. You know, that was the time Master P, you know, he was telling us, fuck the flower, use V12, and he was selling that ghetto dope, right? Well, he was turning crack into CDs, you know what I'm saying? That was a good motivation. We grew up in those eras with the cash monies and the no limits, which was a beautiful thing. That's why I enjoyed the verses too, not to get off topic, but this was that era, you know what I'm saying? So we was, you know, we was trying to do the same thing. You know, niggas was getting that bread, and niggas had niggas around them that can rap. So the group was created. But like we said, and we gonna get more into it later, basically, I'm gonna get deep off into it because I see in the comments that it is still a lot of questions about what's going on with Zoe Pound, man. Jump, why is it only you and Kenny K, you know what I'm saying, on Critical Thinkers podcast? And my only comment was, niggas ain't who you think they are. Or niggas who y'all probably believed in, they're not who y'all think they were. And Junkie Jump will expound on a lot of that a little later. But I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, get y'all up to speed with this Willie Billy, whoever he called himself. And he's in my comments a whole lot, and he bigs it up. You know, it ain't his fault. You know, something just took over his mind. Like I said, he's not a threat, but he is actually a family member of one of the Zoe Pound rappers. claim to be. But at the same token, like we said, man, a couple of videos back, man, in America, man, it's be whatever the hell you want to be. But if you got any sense, common sense is the only thing to have with that one. And you can see the difference between us and that guy. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to, start answering some of the comments, some of the personal comments. I will be elaborating on the whole demonstration from the Rudy to the Tootie, from Zoe Pound streets all the way up into why y'all see the originals left, because it's a such thing as the last men standing, right? So when the storm come by, whether it's rain, sleet, hail, or snow, it could be a tsunami. Those that are found dated on solid ground, after all that stuff is over and that sun shining, guess what? You're going to still see them standing. So that's why me and the Caster, a.k.a. Roaster, a.k.a. the Crack Guard, is in the building demonstrating what y'all see behind us in that high gold and red. You feel what I'm saying? And we're going to keep bringing that gas to y'all because we owe y'all that. And I know there's a lot of misunderstandings with all these Zoe Pounds that's out here now that's faking the funk. Yes, we have a lot of people that suffer from identity crisis, and Zoe Pound, that name, that spirit, it always been a force because it was unity in that. So a lot of people that was displaced, misplaced, didn't have no identity, they kind of embraced that name because it gave them some life, especially the Z's. You know what I'm saying? Because it used to be a lot of boat calling, Haitian booty scratcher, Haitian body odor. It used to be a lot of derogatory names for Haitians until them Zoes out of Little Haiti demonstrated a whole different understanding of what that thing really is. So man, we gonna get real deep, real soon. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta understand, like the Caster always say, we do live lives. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we gotta step away from the camera and let reality sink in so we don't be off track. Because there's a lot of internet fools and buffoons out here that really think that the internet is all life. Nah, that ain't what life is about. We go on, we come off. We come on and we come off of this. This is social media. It is the new streets for us because like we told y'all, I ain't even gotta say it. From crack to content, from the streets to the camp. So now, with that being said, man, Kenny K, I know you got some stuff to do, man, I know wifey might be like, you got such and such time, Kenny K, because we got to get by our business. We live in life. It's truly a beautiful thing. I love what you got going on. I don't know where I'm going to get my wife from. She ain't got no sisters that's, of that caliber. So I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for God, y'all. But,
It's coming, John.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Hey, I'm gonna wait faithfully, man. So I'm gonna be patient. They say patience is a virtue, so I'm gonna be patient. So, man, with that being said, man, what you think, Kenny K?
Yes, and we want to thank all the subscribers, everybody for tuning into this episode. We appreciate it so much. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment, because remember, leave a comment, Junk will reply to your comment. Appreciate everyone. Till the next episode, God made Haitians, Little Haiti made Zoes.
And it's your main man, Junkie Junk, back at y'all, but we out of here. You already know what it is. Little Haiti soldier. We out.